Hello student, in this video lecture number 3 alternating current we will learn power in LCR AC circuit and LC oscillation. So make sure you have watched two videos of alternating current before moving ahead with this video. So let's get start this video with first topic, power in LCR AC circuit. So what is power? Power, we know that power is defined as the rate of doing work. In DC circuit, power is given by the product of voltage and current. And however, in AC circuit, we know that values of voltage and the current changes at every instant. So the power in AC circuit at any instant is the product of instantaneous voltage and the instantaneous current. So the power of an AC circuit depends upon the phase difference between voltage and current. Power in AC circuit. The instantaneous value of voltage and current in AC circuit is given by E equal to E naught sin omega t and I equal to I naught sin omega t minus phi, where phi is the phase difference between E and I, right? Then instantaneous power in the circuit is given as instantaneous power is equal to E into I, right? And P instantaneous is equal to E naught sin omega t and I equal to I naught sin omega t. I naught sin omega t minus phi, right? On solving this equation, we have E naught I naught sin omega t minus phi is sin omega t cos phi, right, minus cos omega t sin phi. Okay, or we can write this equation E naught I naught sin square omega t cos phi minus sin omega t cos omega t and sin phi. Okay, E naught I naught sin square omega t cos phi minus sin omega t cos omega t sin phi. Okay, or we can write this equation as P instantaneous is E naught I naught sin square omega t cos phi minus 1 by 2 sin 2 omega t sin phi, right? And for one complete cycle, we know that for one complete cycle sin square omega t is 1 by 2, omega t equal to 1 by 2 and sine to omega t is 0. Omega t equal to 0. So the average power in this circuit is given by, so average power in this circuit is given by 1 by 2 from this equation, 1 by 2 E naught and E naught I naught, right? P average is 1 by 2 E naught I naught cos phi, right? Or we can write this equation as E naught by root 2 I naught by root 2 cos phi, right? Or this is equation is equal to E naught by root 2 is ERMS, I naught by root 2 is IRMS cos phi. P average is given by PERMS, IRMS cos phi, where cos phi is known as power factor in the circuit and its value depend upon the nature of the circuit. So let's talk about circuit containing pure resistor. Circuit containing pure resistor. So we know that a circuit containing pure resistor only the voltage and current are in same phase. E and I in same phase in this case. So phase angle is phi is 0, right? Phi is 0. So in this circuit average power is ERMS into IRMS and cos phi is 0, cos 0. We know that cos 0 is 1. So average power in circuit containing pure resistor only is ERMS into IRMS, right? Now when circuit containing pure inductor, second point is circuit containing pure inductor only. Containing pure inductor only, right? So in this case the phase angle between E and I is pi by 2. Phase angle is pi by 2. So average power in this circuit is ERMS, IRMS cos 90 and cos 90 is 0. So when circuit containing pure inductor only the average power is 0, right? Circuit containing, third point is circuit containing pure capacitor only. Circuit containing capacitor only. So in this case phase angle between E and I is pi by 2. So average power is 0. Average power is 0 when circuit containing pure inductor and pure resistor. Clear? When circuit containing pure inductor only, average power is 0, and when circuit contain pure inductor only, average power is also 0. Clear? So in these two cases, when circuit containing pure inductor and pure capacitor, the source supplies energy to the circuit during growth of the current, which return to the source during the decay of the current. So the over a complete cycle, the net power consumed average to 0. I hope these points are clear to you. So let's talk about LC oscillation. LC oscillation. First talk about oscillation. Oscillation is to and fro motion. Okay. You have studied about oscillation of simple pendulum in class 11th. Let define the oscillation of LC oscillation and oscillation of simple pendulum. So oscillation of simple pendulum is the energy set in simple pendulum, energy in the same manner periodically between kinetic energy and potential energy of the bow. So this is a simple pendulum. We see that it moves in this direction. Again it's back to mean position. Again it moves in this direction. Okay. So energy settles in the same manner periodically between kinetic energy and potential energy of the bow. Velocity of the bow becomes 0 when energy becomes purely potential energy, right? And the velocity of the bow becomes maximum when the entire energy becomes kinetic energy. While in case of LC oscillation, energy settles back and forth between magnetic field energy and the electrical field energy periodically. And in this case, current becomes 0 when entire energy is stored in capacitor, right? The current becomes maximum when the entire energy is stored in as a magnetic inductor. Charge oscillate harmonically according to Q equal to Q naught cos omega t. While in this case, displacement of bow varies according to x equal to a cos omega t, right? So LC oscillation when the charged capacitor is allowed to discharge through an ideal inductor having no ohmic resistance. The electrical oscillation of constant amplitude are produced in the circuit due to continuous and periodic conversion of energy stored in the capacitor into the energy stored in the inductor. So these are called LC oscillation. So let us understand the mechanism of LC oscillation. For this, consider a capacitor. Consider a capacitor of capacitance C is connected across an ideal inductor. This is ideal inductor of inductance L, and a battery through a two-way key. Battery through a two-way key, 1, 2, and this one 3, right? This is positive and negative. Okay. Now connect terminal 1 to terminal 3. In first case, connect terminal 1 and terminal 3 by inserting a plug between them. The capacitor gets connected across the battery and very soon it gets fully charged to store charge Q naught. Okay. Let us now disconnect terminal 1 and 3. Disconnect terminal 1 and 3 and connect terminal 1 and terminal 2. Right? The battery is thus cut off from the circuit and fully charged capacitor is now connected to this inductor. Okay. Now happens after this can we understand from this diagram. In first diagram we see that in this diagram inductor and capacitor, fully charged capacitor is connected to inductor, right? And in this figure we see that a fully charged capacitor connected across inductor L. The total energy stored in the plates of a capacitor is half q square upon c, right? So this total energy stored in the electric field between plates of a capacitor and energy stored in the magnetic field is zero. This is electrical energy is half q square upon c and magnetic energy is zero, since there is no current in the circuit at this moment. And in this figure, this capacitor is discharging through the conductor, q equal to 0. As the charged capacitor starts discharging through inductor, a discharging current begins to flow in the clockwise direction, right? In the circuit, as a result, the energy stored in the capacitor start decreasing, but the energy stored in the inductor start increasing, right? In other words, the energy start transferring from the capacitor to inductor till the capacitor gets completely discharged and the energy stored in the capacitor is transformed entirely into the magnetic field energy of the inductor. So the discharging current in this circuit at this moment becomes maximum. So energy stored in inductor is magnetic energy half L I naught square and electrical energy is 0. Clear? Now in third figure, in this figure we see that capacitor is again charged. This energy is E naught, this positive, this is negative. Okay, so in this figure, as soon as the capacitor gets fully discharged, the discharging current tends to stop and magnetic field begins to collapse. As a result, a back EMF is set up in the inductor which opposes the decrease of the current, right? So the current keeps flowing in the same direction and the capacitor start charging, but in reverse direction, that is opposite polarity. So the result is that the energy is transferred from the inductor back to the capacitor and the current becomes 0 and the capacitor is charged to its initial value. So in this case, electrical energy is half q square upon c and ub is 0, right? And this figure we see that in this case capacitor is again discharged and in this case electrical energy is converted into magnetic energy and current is flowing in this circuit is anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so in this figure the fully charged capacitor again begins to discharge through the inductor. A discharging current begins to flow in anti-clockwise direction, right? This again causes the transfer of energy from capacitor to the inductor till the capacitor gets completely discharged. and the entire energy appears as the magnetic field energy of the inductor. So here UV is half L I square and UE is 0. Clear? And in next figure we see that in this figure capacitor is again charged, right? Capacitor is again charged. So after the capacitor gets fully discharged, the discharging current keeps flowing in the same direction due to back EMF. This causes recharging of the capacitor in the reverse direction till the entire magnetic field energy of the inductor is converted back into the electrical energy of the capacitor. Okay, so which is exactly similar to the figure at the beginning. So electrical energy is in this case electrical energy UE is half Q square upon 2C and magnetic energy is 0. So the whole process repeats itself indefinitely with a definite frequency and produce LC oscillation of constant amplitude in an ideal situation. Right? So these oscillations are that is when ohmic resistance of the circuit is 0. Such oscillations are called undamped oscillation. These are undamped oscillation. Right? But in practice, inductor always we know that but in practice an inductor always has a certain resistance. So due to this the energy of the circuit is gradually decreased. Okay, energy of the circuit is gradually dissipated as the heat and the amplitude of oscillation start decreasing. Amplitude of oscillation start decreasing till it becomes 0 and the entire energy is dissipated as heat. Such types of oscillation are called damped oscillation. Damped oscillation. I hope these points are clear to you. Damped oscillation is when in practice inductor always has a certain resistance. Due to this energy of circuit is gradually dissipated as heat and amplitude of the oscillation start decreasing till it becomes 0 and the entire energy dissipated as heat. These are called damped oscillation. Right? So let's talk about mathematical treatment of LC oscillation. So let Q naught be initial charge. Q naught be initial charge. Initial charge on a fully charged capacitor. Initial charge on a fully charged capacitor. Right? And Q be the charge left on it at any time t. And let I be the current flowing through the inductor. I be current flowing through inductor. conductor. So at that time, okay, right? So Q upon C plus L di over dt equal to 0, or we can write di over dt is dt equal to minus 1 upon LC into Q, right? And we know that I is equal to dq over dt. I is dq over dt, so we can write this equation as d square q over dt square equal to minus 1 upon LC into Q. And this is linear differential equation of second order and similar to d square x over dt square equal to minus omega square x. The differential equation of particle executing linear simple harmonic motion, right? And in this case, this shows that in LC circuit, the charge Q oscillate harmonically with angular frequency. Angular frequency is given as omega equal to 1 upon root LC. Clear? So it was something about power in AC circuit and LC oscillations. I hope these topics are clear to you. Thank you.